Hi guys, Donoskilled here. I'm going to be doing an introduction to war attacks for people who are new to war, how to do an effective war attack. War attacks are different than raiding attacks. You're going to use different troops and different tactics, and there's some rules that you need to keep in mind, and we're going to talk about those. I visited over at the Goonies for one war, and we had a lot of people in the war who were new to war. It was either their first time in a war or one of their first couple times. And there's a few mistakes that people who are new to war make commonly, and we wanted to talk about those so that in the future people can have a place to come and learn some of these tricks and tips so they can improve much more quickly. Okay, so here are some of the rules that you need to follow when you're making a war attack. The first thing you need to do is kill the enemy clan castle troops before attacking the base. You cannot forget this. You will lose every time if you do not kill the clan castle troops first. 2, you need to use your own CC troops to their best advantage. They are your strongest force, and so you need to use them accordingly. You can't just have them be some afterthought that you throw in at the end. Number 3 is bring the best army that you can build. No going cheap in war. You can't just build a raiding army and expect to have a good result. Number 4 is you need to have a plan. You can't just attack any old base that suits your fancy. You have to look at them first, decide what their weaknesses are, and figure out how you can exploit those weaknesses. I wanted to show you a few replays to give you an example of why these rules are important. So let's dive right into number 1, and we'll watch a few replays to see why you need to kill the enemy clan castle troops. Okay, this is going to be attacked by Nathaniel. You're going to see that he drops some giants in without bothering to check whether their CC is full or to kill what's in there. Let's see how that goes for him. Alright, here come the giants. And look, boom, out pops the Valkyrie. Now you may have never seen a Valkyrie at this point in the game, because if you're less than a Town Hall 7, I believe, you don't even have access to her. Well, here's your introduction. Boom, in a few hits, every single one of his giants is dead. Now he drops some archers to try to clean it up, but it's too late. She's already done her damage. Now watch her kill this entire group of barbarians in one hit. Comes over and clears out this group of archers in 2 hits. That's a Valkyrie for you. Now, that one troop killed his entire army. That's what happens when you don't clear out the clan castle troops. Now, this is a little bit different than in raiding. In raiding, you can often get away with not clearing the clan castle troops, because, first of all, a lot of the clan castles aren't even full in the bases that you attack, and secondly, even when they are full, it's often just crappy troops like archers or barbarians. That's not going to be the case in war, usually. If you're facing any half-decent clan, they're not just going to put some archers in their low-level player clan castles. They're going to put good things in there, like Valkyrie, for example. Specifically because they know that low-level players have no experience with a Valkyrie. How do I kill this thing? It's wrecking my troops. So you need to be prepared. There may be some good troops in that enemy clan castle, and they have to be killed. And you can't kill them as the war is going on, or as the raid is going on. You saw here, after he dropped the barbarians, or after he dropped the giants, and they started getting wrecked, he did go ahead and drop some archers here, presumably to try to kill those troops, but it was too late. First of all, the giants were already dead, and once the giants are dead, he's not going to be able to take out this base. Secondly, he's right in range of these defenses, so while his archers are trying to kill that Valkyrie, these defenses are shooting and picking off his troops. So you can't just try to kill the clan castle troops as you're attacking the base. You need to kill them first, then attack the base. So let's watch one more with a different troop composition so you can see that it's not just the Valkyrie that can wreck you, but really there's a lot of compositions that can wreck you if you don't kill the clan castle troops first. Okay, in this one, Elena is defending against Morelli, and Morelli's going to do the same thing that Nathaniel did, which is just drop a bunch of giants. Let's go ahead and speed it up, because it's going to take them a second to get over by the base. And you're going to see what happens as soon as they get within the CC range. Out pops the level 5 wizard. A level 5 wizard does splash damage, which means he kills not only the troop that he's hitting, but all the troops that are next to him. He also does something around 250 damage in each hit, or more. Boom. He killed that entire group of wizards, or that entire group of giants, in one hit. This quickly into it, he's only about 30 seconds into the raid. All of his giants are dead. He's got some barbarians left, but what are they going to do against these troops? This raid is over, because he didn't bother to clear the enemy clan castle troops. So rule number 1, kill the clan castle troops. You can't get away with this. Now, I did show some low-level attackers here, because that's who this video is more geared to. But you should know that this is true for high-level raids as well. If you look at some of my other videos on my YouTube channel, you'll find one specifically where someone tries to do a raid against a Town Hall 9 base using hogs, high-level hogs, and he doesn't clear out the clan castle troops first, and it ends the same way. So this is a rule that's universal for everybody. Kill those clan castle troops. Alright, so we're going to kill the clan castle troops. How do we do that? There's some easy steps. First thing you do is you just lure the enemy troops out of the clan castle. So in order to do this, we're going to check the range of the clan castle before attacking so that we know where to drop. So that we know where we can drop a troop in order to lure the clan castle out. So let's look at a base here just so that we can see what I'm talking about by checking the range. Before you attack the base, you should scout it. When you scout it, you can come in and you can click on the clan castle and you'll see a white circle pops up. If any of your troops cross into the circle, the enemy clan castle troops will come out. So we want to see where we could drop a troop that would lure them out. Easily dropping a barbarian here will lure the troops out because the barbarian will come this way, cross into the circle, you're good to go. On the other hand, if you dropped a barbarian here, he wouldn't go into that circle. So you'll just want to check first to see. Now at low levels, you'll always be able to lure him with a barbarian because there's just not enough buildings or walls to make the clan castle impossible to lure. But as you get to higher levels, some people will make their clan castle very difficult to lure by putting walls around this white circle and buildings and such, and so you have to get a little bit more creative in that case to lure the clan castle, maybe using balloons or hogs or something. But in any event, you have to check how you're going to get that clan castle lured and do that. Okay, so as we talked about, if you can get to it using just a few barbs, one will usually do for a low-level town hall, maybe 2 or 3 for higher level ones. When you get to higher levels, a giant may be required or hogs, but whatever you do, you need to lure those troops out. Now, once we get them lured out, we're going to use an anchor troop to draw the enemy troops away from the defenses. So what do we mean by that? Well, let's say we cleared these troops out. We don't want to just, and they come out right here. We don't want to just try to kill them right here because this building could shoot some of our troops, and this building could shoot some of our troops. Your troops already have their hands full trying to kill the enemy clan castle troops. They don't need to be getting shot in the back by the defenses as well. So we want to bring the enemy troops away from the defenses and kill them out here, and then let the rest of the attack proceed against the base. So an anchor troop is something that you drop out here in order to draw the enemy troops away. Now, if they've put, for example, a builder hut in the corner, which you'll see people start to do, or other buildings in the corner, that's a perfect place to put an archer or a barbarian, because that way he'll stay there on that building and draw the enemy troops out all at once, and you don't have to drop more than one. If they don't have any, like in this base, you can drop a barbarian in the corner. He'll start running towards the base, and they'll start coming out to meet him. Eventually he'll get killed either by the clan castle troops or a defense when he gets too close, and you may need to drop another one in the corner to get them far enough out. Once you get the troops far enough out that you're not going to get hit by the defenses, you can go ahead and do this step 3, which is use your kill squad to ambush the enemy troops. This is just what I already said. You can look at it real quick. Now, one thing to note is you don't need to bring them clear out to the corner to kill them. That wastes a lot of time, and it's going to take you 4 or 5 barbarians to get them out there, and those are troops that you could be using in the attack. You only need to get them far enough away that they're not going to be hit by the defenses. So this defense goes to here. So if you brought the troops out to here, you could circle them with archers and not be shot in the back. So this is far enough. Let's watch an example of a fairly effective usage of this from the last war. Okay, in this attack, Colonel's going to do a great job luring and killing the enemy clan castle troops. So he drops the barbarian to get them out. Now once they're out, he's going to use anchor troops to pull them away. He's going to bring them up into this corner. Now he probably brings them a little further than he really has to, but that's okay. The point is he does a good job getting them away from the defenses. So now out here, if he goes to kill them, there's absolutely no chance that he's going to get shot by any of these defenses. Now he's going to make a little mistake here when he tries to take on this Valkyrie, and probably because he wasn't sure how to kill him. We're going to talk about how to kill Valkyries in just a little minute. He's going to send in a bunch of barbarians to attack this Valkyrie. Well, the Valkyries kill everything that's touching them, as we'll talk about in a minute, and you'll see all those barbarians get taken out in one hit. But then after that, he recovers nicely, and he puts a loop of archers around the Valkyrie, and they take her out. And that's one of the things that we'll talk about in a moment, about how to take care of Valkyries. But the point of showing this is just to show how he lured them and pulled them out to the corner, and it was very successful. And she's down. So even though she's tough, she's not unbeatable. And then he goes on to 3-star the base. We'll speed it all up just so that he can get his credit for a good attack. We don't want to deny him his credit, but really what we wanted to watch this for was to see the clan castle kill. So great job, Colonel. There we go. Alright, so at low Town Hall levels, meaning Town Hall 6 and below, you should plan to use around 15 archers and 5 barbarians to kill the clan castle troops. That's a fairly decent composition that will take out most things. Usually you're going to have some of those in your army anyway, and so just bring enough to take care of that, and plan to just dedicate those troops to killing the clan castle. Once you get high enough to have wizards, adding a few wizards to your kill squad can be really helpful because of that splash damage. They can take out grouped archers and such in one hit. So what type of troops are you going to encounter, and how are we going to kill them? Well, number one is the Valkyrie. We already saw her in action. She's very deadly. She took out an entire force. She has high hit points, over 900, and she does a whirlwind attack that hits all of the troops that are touching her at once. Now earlier I said she kills all of the troops that are touching her. That was a mistake. She hits all of the troops that are touching her. Now she happens to do enough damage that she'll kill barbarians and archers in one hit. So if it's a group of barbarians touching her, she will kill them all in one hit. If it's giants, she won't kill them one hit, but she'll damage them all in one hit. And it only takes about 2 or 3 hits from her to kill giants, because she does quite a bit. She does a couple, I think 150 or something. Anyway, more than 100 per hit. And it doesn't take much to kill them. She'll definitely kill barbarians and archers in one hit. That's the main thing to know about her. And so as you saw in that previous replay, if you send in a bunch of barbarians have to touch her in order to kill her. And so they will always get killed in one hit. So you never want to send in more than 1 or 2 barbarians at a time against a Valkyrie, because it's just wasted. If you send in more, she'll kill them just as fast. So send in 1 to distract her, while all the while you have archers around her killing her. As soon as that one's dead, send in another barbarian to distract her. But do it 1 at a time, because if you send in a whole group, they just all die. The other thing is, when you surround her with archers, you need to spread them out in a circle. If you just put 20 archers down in a group, she'll come over, she'll hit them in one hit, they will all be dead. What I was saying earlier about distracting her with barbarians, the barbarians are just there to keep her from killing your archers. The barbarians are never going to kill her. You spread the archers around her to do the killing, and send the barbarians in to keep her from coming to kill your barbarians. And as I said, never under any circumstances clump together any of your troops, because she will take them out in one hit. This is just to give you an idea about what kind of things you may expect. You can look at it later if you're interested. The next thing that you're going to see commonly is wizards. Wizards are just as dangerous as Valkyries, as we already saw. They do have low hit points, so they're fairly easy to kill. But they can kill barbarians, archers, and other wizards in one hit. They can kill giants in 1 or 2 hits, depending on the level. If it's level 1 giant, probably 1 hit. Higher level giants, it'll take a few, but still 2 or 3 hits is pretty quick to lose all your giants. They do splash damage, so they kill any that are clumped together. These are the common ones that you'll see. You'll see wizards very commonly, more commonly than Valkyries. And they're often grouped with smaller troops, so that the smaller, like archers and barbarians, so that the barbarians and archers can keep your troops distracted, and then the wizards do the killing. So when you see a wizard or a Valkyrie, rule number 1 is to take them out, because they will wreak havoc on you until you do. The way to kill the wizards is the same as with the Valkyrie. The only difference being that you can send in more barbarians against the wizard than you can against the Valkyrie, because the wizard doesn't shoot all around himself, he just does splash damage at whatever he's hitting. But if you do send in a bunch of barbarians at a wizard, you should send them from different sides, so 1 from the left, 1 from the right, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, all really fast. So that way, if he shoots the one on the left, the other 3 stay alive. If you send them fairly close to each other, the splash damage will still hit them all and kill all of them in one hit. So I would just treat them like a Valkyrie, in that I would surround them with archers and then send in a barbarian, just to distract them. It won't take as long as with a Valkyrie, because you're not doing 100 and whatever damage, but if there's 2 or 3, you may have to kill a few before. So sending in those barbarians keeps your archers alive. Alright, next one. Archers and barbarians, those are pretty easy to kill. Just use brute force, you just overwhelm them. You don't see that as often, but sometimes people cheap out, especially on the low level bases. They don't want to spend their hard-earned dough, and so they just give them archers and barbarians. If that's the case, just kill them. You can just use the same amount as archers. If they've got 10 archers, why don't you drop 15? That'll make sure that your side wins. Maybe you should drop a little more because they'll probably have level 5 or level 6 and you'll be using a lower level, so maybe you should drop 20, but just drop enough to kill them. If you get a little bit better at killing clan castle troops, there's a nifty way that you can do it using less, and that's to use a wizard to kill them in one hit. In order to kill them in one hit, you have to get them into a tight little group. So you use a few archers or barbarians to go back and forth, moving the little group around until they get all bunched up in a small bunch. Drop one wizard, kills the whole group in one hit. That's a more advanced tactic, but I thought I'd throw it in there just so you know there's another way to do it. The other thing that you'll see sometimes is minions. The only thing to know about them is that they fly, so your barbarians won't do any good. Just kill them with archers. They're not that strong. Just use a bunch of archers. You don't even need to spread them out. You can just put them in a group against minions because they're not doing splash damage. But watch out, if it's a few minions with a wizard, don't put all your archers in a group because, yeah, the minions won't kill them, but the wizard or the Valkyrie will, so you still need to spread them out if they're grouped up. If it's just straight minions or minions mixed with archers and barbs, you can just brute force it. Balloons you don't see as often, but you're starting to see them occasionally. They're interesting in that they can be a really strong clan castle troop when people don't know what to do with them, or they can be really weak for people who do know what to do with them. The main thing to know about balloons is that they have high hit points and they do an insane amount of damage, over 600 damage per hit, and it will kill, obviously, archers or barbs or wizards, and even low-level giants it will kill in one hit. It's also splash damage, so it will kill all the troops that are in the range, that are near where it drops. And then in addition, it does 162 splash damage when it dies. The balloon drops out of the sky, and that's enough to kill any archer or barber or anything but the highest level wizard that is near it when it dies. The thing to know about them in addition is that they're very slow moving and they attack very slowly. It takes them 4 seconds to attack. So because they do that insane amount of damage and they do splash damage, it's easy to kill them in the same way that we would attack Valkyrie or wizards. We surround them with a group of archers, and that will usually take care of it. The other thing is because they're so slow, you can drag the other troops out first. Usually it's some archers or barbarians. Kill those other troops before the balloon even gets there, and then after the other troops are dead, then just circle it with some archers and you're good. You don't want to ignore it though, because even though they are slow, and it will only take one drop of their bomb to kill your giants or whatever you're attacking with. So definitely don't ignore them. But you can handle them in the same way that wizards and Valkyrie are handled. Okay, moving on to rule number 2 is that your own clan castle troops are your strongest force, and so you need to use them wisely. This seems like a rule that should be obvious, but in the war that I was just in, a lot of the new attackers didn't even use their clan castle troops at all, and the ones that did often just had whatever was in there from earlier in the day, which is usually just a bunch of archers. Well, just a bunch of archers is not going to cut it for a clan war. You need to have something good in there, especially because when you do put something good in there, you can totally dominate the other team or the other base. So this implies a few things. First, you need to request troops that are good. What is meant by good? Good doesn't just mean high level, right? Because archers can be high level. You can get level 7 archers. But that's not good enough for a clan war. You should be requesting something that people at your town hall level cannot defend against. So an example of this is if you're level 3, 4, or 5, people simply cannot defend against level 6 balloons or level 5 hogs. Level 6 balloons or level 5 hogs will just dominate any of those lower bases because they only have one air defense, and usually it's only a level 1 or level 2 or level 3 air defense, and usually the people don't know what to do with it, so they leave it on the edge of their base. All of those things together make it really easy for balloons to take out. For hogs, it's the same thing, except it's giant bombs. Giant bombs are the thing that kills hogs the easiest, but people at that level either don't have access to giant bombs, or as they get, I'm not even sure what level you first get them, maybe it's level 5, but even if they do have them, they usually don't know what to do with them. They leave them somewhere out on the outside of their base instead of putting it on the inside, and so hogs can just have free reign throughout their base without fear of giant bombs. The point is, whatever at your town hall level is something that usually people can't make and certainly can't defend against, that's what you should be requesting. I would definitely say balloons and hogs is what it should be, but you can get creative. Maybe you can't make healers yet, but you have a 15 capacity CC, and someone can put a high level healer in there for you, and that can be really helpful. Or even just level 6 or level 7 giants can be a huge help, because even though you do have access to giants, the difference between a level 2 giant and a level 6 giant is huge. It's a very big difference. The other thing to remember is that while people sometimes get upset if you request high-level troops or troops that you can't make, that's only during regular raiding time. When it's wartime, nobody's going to get upset that you request something high-level. In fact, they want you to, because they want to win the war just as much as you do. And if donating a few troops to you is going to help us win the war, they're going to be glad to do it. The second thing that this implies is that you should plan your attack around your clan castle troops, because they're your strongest force. So you should think of them as the star of your show and not some afterthought that is just dropped when you're already halfway through the battle somewhere, over in the corner and you don't know what to do with them. If you have some level 6 balloons in there, after you kill the clan castle troops, those should be one of the first things coming down, because they're going to wreck all of the defenses and the rest of your troops are just going to be cleanup. It doesn't make any sense to kill half the base using some giants and archers and then drop your balloons when you're almost out of time and hope that you get it done. No, send those balloons in. They'll kill all the defenses. Let your archers and barbarians just clean up buildings without having to worry about getting shot, because all of the defenses are dead. So plan your attack around those CC troops. They should never be just an afterthought that you don't know what to do with, or just some extra troops, some extra of the same thing. They should be what it's all about at low levels. As you get to higher levels, it's less and less that, because you can start making the good troops yourself at higher levels, and so it just becomes extra capacity, an extra 30 troops that you can bring in, but they're not going to be any different than what you're already bringing in. At low level, you can't make level 6 balloons or high level hogs or any level hogs, and so these can really be what makes the difference for your attack. So let's watch some replays where people did this correctly, and you can just see what I'm talking about, how some of these bases just cannot defend against these high-level troops. Okay, this is an attack by Adrian against Mago, and you're going to see he does a good job using high-level CC troops to take care of this base. Now he does a good job in trying to lure the CC and tries to kill him with lightning. Unfortunately, lightning's not going to make a dent in a Valkyrie, so he's got to take it out the old-fashioned way. Being unfamiliar with how the Valkyries work, he just sends a bunch of barbarians in. It doesn't do the job, but then he does the right thing and does this circle of archers to take him out. Now, one thing to note, in this attack, he does a lot of the attacking before he ever bothers to drop the clan castle troops. I would have dropped him sooner. Now, I like that he's going to try to kill the air defense before he drops his balloons, because he didn't want the air defense to kill the balloons. That's often a good idea. But really, if it's a level 1 air defense and it's at the side of the base, level 6 balloons will kill it. If you drop them right here, they would come over and they'd kill it. And then they'd move on to the rest of the base. If you can kill it easily before you drop the balloons, that's fine. But as soon as that air defense goes down, get those balloons down. So that's the only criticism I would have, is get them down sooner. Well, and also get them down closer. He drops them clear up here. This is a long way for loons to go. Loons are very slow. Distance is their enemy. You could have dropped them right there. There's a gap right there, I believe. Yeah, well, maybe not. Even if you couldn't have dropped them right there, you could have dropped them somewhere closer, maybe right here. Well, now that I look at it, maybe there wasn't a closer spot. Well, anyways, if there is a closer spot, use it, because they take a long time. But regardless, watch how quickly these level 6 balloons wreck this base. And there's absolutely nothing this base can do to stop them. They're killing these defensive buildings in one hit. Before the giant can even get there to take them out, the balloons have already killed it, so the giant's just watching them. Now the giants are all dead, and the balloons just go on to finish taking it out and watch them kill this town hall in one hit. Well, 2 hits. Bam. So it only took 3 to dominate that lower level base. Now, As the bases get higher level and get tougher, maybe it won't dominate as much, but it can really make the difference. It can make it so that you take out a lot more than you would have. And as your clan castle gets bigger, you're going to fit more in there. Let's watch one more so we can just see. Okay, this is another attack by Adrian. One of the few people who was requesting good troops instead of just going in with what they had. He does a good job again. Now again in this one he does a lot of the killing before he sends the CC troops in, which I would prefer to just see them coming sooner. But the whole point is just to show you how much these troops can dominate this base. See, that air defense wasn't even enough to stop him. And it's over. Cleanup time. One of the things I think that stops people from requesting high-level balloons is that when they get access to balloons, they're level 1 balloons, and they're not that great. They just die. They don't do any good, and so they get in their mind, oh, balloons suck. Well, balloons do suck when they're at low levels, but they get a huge boost when they go to level 6. To the point where they're killing most defenses in 1 or 2 hits, and if you have 3 together, they will kill almost every defense that you're going to face in 1 hit. And then they also have like 600 hit points, and so they're going to survive a whole lot of damage coming at them. They really will dominate any of these low-level bases. There's other good troops too: hogs, high-level giants, wizards. The point is, get some good troops, and you can really dominate these low-level bases. Okay. Rule number 3, bring the best army you can build. This is doesn't need much more elaboration. It just, you can't just bring in a bunch of barbarians and archers. Now, when you're level 3, all you have is barbarians and archers and giants, so you are going to be bringing in barbarians and archers, but you're not just going to bring in all barbarians and archers, right? You're going to bring in enough giants to get the job done, and you're going to plan that out carefully. When you get to a higher level and you have more expensive troops like wizards, you should be bringing those in with you. And finally, when you get to Town Hall 7 and you finally get access to dragons, you should be doing all dragon swarms at Town Hall 7. And then everything in between, you should be using your strongest troops to dominate these bases. There's no excuse for bringing in just a raiding army in a war attack. Rule number 4 is to have a plan. Now, what do we mean by have a plan? There's a few things. Pick a base that's good for you. How do you know if a base is good for you? Well, it should be your same town hall level, usually. You can go lower than your town hall level in only a few cases. First, if there's no bases left that are at your town hall level. Okay, I mean, by left, I mean that haven't been 3-star, then okay, go lower, that's fine. Or if you just barely recently upgraded your town hall level, but your attack power is still the level below, so you just upgraded from level 3 to level 4. But as far as attack power goes, you're still basically a level 3 because you haven't upgraded any of your attacking stuff yet. Okay, fine, attack the level 3 people because you're still essentially a level 3. You can go higher than your town hall level only if there are no bases that are lower than you or at your town hall level to attack. Normally, if you're going against a higher level town hall, it's going to be a more difficult battle and there's a chance you won't succeed, so we prefer that you don't. But if there's no other bases to attack, then do your best. Occasionally there's a base that's a higher town hall level than you, but it's a weak base, so it's essentially, as far as defenses go, the same town hall level as you. This can be because maybe they just barely upgraded, but they haven't upgraded their defenses yet, or some people upgrade their town hall levels before their defenses are fully maxed out, and so you'll see someone with a town hall 6, but they've got town hall 3 level defenses. Okay, you can attack that base at town hall 3 because you know you can beat their low level defenses. Or the other thing is if you just know that you can 3-star the base because you've had a proven track record of being able to attack higher level town hall bases and beat them. Okay, so you picked a base that's good for you. The next thing you need to do is scout that base before you do the attack. By scout that base, that means you go in and you look at it, you see where the defenses are. You formulate a plan for how you're going to get to those defenses. So if you're at a fairly low level, town hall 3, 4, 5, you're mainly going to be using giant / barbarian archer armies. Well, what kills barbarians and archers the easiest? Mortars and wizard towers. And so your plan should be, where are the mortars, where are the wizard towers? How can I get to them with my giants and take them out? Because if you can take out the mortar and the wizard tower with your giants, then oftentimes your archers can clean up the rest. And so you should scout that base, figure out where its weaknesses are, and take it on. And then the third thing that goes along with that is build your army to match the base. You don't just build a army and then go attack a base. You look at the base you want to attack and you think about, how many giants do I need to beat this base? Because the number of giants you need to beat this base is going to be different than the number of giants you need to beat that base. Figure it out and build your army accordingly. So one example of this is in deciding what clan castle troops you're going to request. Well, if there's no air defense in the base, of course you want to request loons, because there's going to be nothing to stop them. On the other hand, if they have a high level air defense and it's well defended in the center of their base, maybe loons wouldn't be the best bet. Maybe in that case you choose hogs to request. So by build your army to match the base, we mean you look at the base, figure out what it's strong against, what it's weak against, and select your army accordingly. Alright guys, that's it for the rules of the war. I hope that you learned something from this, and I hope that you follow them. Let me bring up the summary so that you can see them again. There's going to be further videos posted to the YouTube page dealing with specific issues like killing clan castle troops. They're going to be tailored more toward high-level people, but I think you can still learn from them. So go ahead and check those out, and as you continue to grow, ask questions from your other clan members. Watch your own attack replays and learn what you did wrong. Watch the attack replays of the people who did well so that you can learn why they did well. And by doing those things, you'll progress really quickly and become an excellent war attacker. Alright, adios.